At 6:44, a lot of people tend to focus on getting healthier in the new year, and that doesn't mean just hitting the gym. Mental health is just as important as our physical health. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley is here to explain how the Atlanta Police Department is taking a different approach to boost mental health. This is so important, Joe.
That's right, Jonathan, and Happy New Year to you and to those of you watching. The recent discovery of an Atlanta police officer and a woman found dead inside a home has put the spotlight back on mental health within the force. APD saying it's using a number of tools to try and spot red flags and get officers the help they need.
Homicide Detective Patrick Deegan points to justice as his motivation for joining the Atlanta Police Department.
Sometimes they call and they just want to kind of yell and tell you that you're not doing your job. Other days they're very thankful for the progress that you've made, or if you found somebody and taken them into custody.
Seeing victims' families on their worst days, serving during the turmoil of 2020, all took a toll on the 10-year veteran.
You carry it home with you, you carry it along with you all the time. It's not necessarily a topic that you speak about at the dinner table or to friends or anything like that, because it's just like a little bit too much for people.
Deegan says the force has lost a couple of officers in the last year to suicide. Then on Saturday, police found the bodies of an Atlanta police investigator and a woman at a home in the Virginia Highland neighborhood.
You look at your own mortality when you see things like that. You understand that it could happen to you, and that somebody was having a tough time and nobody really knew that they were having a tough time, and maybe they didn't feel that they could talk to anybody.
As police continue to look into the latest deaths, Dr. Carla Moore is hoping to reach officers before their red flags turn into irreversible risk.
They're constantly exposed to trauma with no place to really kind of decompress, dump. They're the least likeliest to ask for help.
Moore says APD now requires annual mental health checkups for officers and offers a wellness center at the Public Safety Training Center.
It really makes for a happier worker, right? A happier employee, and not necessarily because work is so great, because again, the work is there, right? But it's because they found a way to balance it and figure out ways to take care of themselves.
Detective Deegan helped spearhead efforts to deploy the Calm app for every officer struggling with mental health.
I wanted to give officers something that was proactive, not just reactive.
And each Atlanta police officer gets 5 licenses to use the Calm app. Detective Deegan says he is giving his licenses to families of homicide victims tied to cases he has investigated over the years.
Yeah, it's such an important topic, especially in light of what we've seen recently. But like you said, Joe, getting the help before it gets to an emergent situation.
Right, and you kind of know this. Usually your body will start to ache or something like that to give you a sign that something may be wrong. Speaking with Dr. Moore, she says if your sleep is off, if you have any diet or appetite changes, or sleep hygiene gets a little worse, then you might want to check in and make sure that your mental health is in tip-top shape.
Yeah, and that's not just for officers, but for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joe, thanks so much. We appreciate it.